late, another late live stream. Just got back from the store. Today was my little nephew's first birthday. That's cool. 1 year old. 1 year old. First birthday. Yep. And oh, alright, hang on. Oh, it's a little too tight. Hang on. That's pretty close, I think. So I'm just going to move it in a minute anyway. Yeah, that's probably pretty close. Zoom out just a little bit. Just a little bit. What's up, Phoenix? Glad you could make it. Glad you could make it. Oh, yeah, here. Let me, I can't take a picture. Making a post real quick with a link. And like I said, turn that around. This is a work shirt. I've been throwing on work clothes lately, and I did not change. Huh? That's weird. Doesn't give me the option to snag a link. Huh. So. Okay. There we go. Let me put this on live chat. I always forget. Finally did it. For like right off the bat. Okay, copy a link and we will throw this up and we're going to just hop right into this today. I don't know whether to go with chili or the beef strips and savory tomato based sauce. But last time I had that, I think it was pretty much new. It seems like I don't remember liking it very well, but I think I just had the main. It doesn't matter. I mean, the main is what is going to shape my main thoughts on, well, it's what the meal's about. Anyway. Okay, quick post. Okay. Just use a generic MRE picture since I can't take one. It's good enough. Okay. That's good enough. I didn't read it back like I should have. Check for spelling, grammar errors. How are you guys doing tonight? How's everybody doing? Because I've had a weird day myself. I ended up having to go to 3 places because I forgot that they were having my little nephew's birthday at a park that is way out kind of in the middle of nowhere. And I went to my mom's house first and I messaged everybody and nobody got back to me, so I thought it was at my little sister's. So I just drove to my little sister's because that's the logical other place it would have been. And nobody ever answered me, which I thought was weird. But they didn't have any signal out there, so I was just kind of lost. And then finally got with somebody and I had to drive out there. It took me, I would say, it should have taken me 45 minutes to get there. It took me like 2 hours and 15 minutes. I was pretty much out of gas. The power was out. It was weird. It was like, I don't know. It was weird. They had a pretty big, we've had big storms here the past 3 days. Definitely the past 2 days, but maybe 3 days. Crazy electrical storms. The lightning has been something to behold. It's good for everybody to make it into the chat. I pulled out chili and beef strips. The only other thing left in that case A, which I did go and try to dig out like some, just anything, oddities. My stuff is so, I have so much stuff. Whenever I do finally get to go through this, which I'm hoping will be very soon, I told my contractor, like, we got to get this done, dude. Like, I want to get this, I want to get in up there. And I'd say if he buckled down, it could be done in a month. But it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute. And whenever I start going through stuff, I am going to be, I'm going to take totes and I'm going to put like new extras in a tote. Then I'm going to start a vintage extras and cans and vintage bottles and cans and stuff like that. And I'm just going to get rid of all of it. I'm just going to give it all away to people that want it, because I can only use so much, and I'm only going to have room for displaying so much where I have it. So I think it would be best to just share the stuff that I have, and you know, I honestly don't know what all I've got that could be. I know I have a bunch of like regular extras and stuff like that, and then I've got like some oddities and some vintage like mismatched stuff that I don't know really what I'll be able to do with it, and I don't. You'll see whenever I start going through it, I guess, because I'll involve you guys in that process. Why not? As soon as I get my internet one up there at that building, we will start just probably doing live streams where I go through, I don't know, 20 or 30 boxes in a live stream. I'm going to say I've probably got at least a couple hundred, maybe more, that I've got to go through. I've been hardcore collecting for the past 12, 13 years, and it has added up to a lot. I have a lot of stuff, and it's to the point where I can't get to the stuff that I need to and want to, stuff that I specifically bought to use for live streams. Like, I have a case of MCIs, maybe 2. Actually, I know I've got 3 that I bought. One of them is a 1980. I bought a weird civilian case of MCIs specifically to live stream with. I bought a case of 77s to live stream with, and then I've got a case of, I don't, 60, maybe 67s or 68s. I don't know. I haven't seen them in so long. I don't know. I can't remember what years they are. And that stuff right now, well, anytime would like I would like to cycle stuff like that through, but it would literally take moving a lot of stuff just to get to it, and that's my fault. That's my fault. I've collected and kept every little thing, and yeah, I'm gonna have to purge through it. I'm gonna have to purge some stuff. So you guys, whenever that happens, you folks that are regulars on these live streams, if you want stuff, we're going to box stuff up and make it as fair and whatever as I can, and just, because it would be, by the time, okay, let's just say I was going to try to be greedy and sell the crap on eBay. After you factor in the shipping and the fact that it's fragile and everything else that goes along with trying to ship a lot of the stuff that I would have, at the end of the day, it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to do that. So anyway, that's what my plan is. That's what I'm thinking, especially after today, especially, and trying to get to something and looking at what all is there. It's just, I'm not happy with, I haven't been happy with the level of accumulation that I've allowed myself to gather in some time. But a lot of it's cool stuff, man. It's like, it's stuff I can't just toss. So but it's also, I've got to be able to get to enough of it to round up to make out a bunch of boxes, or kind of trying to figure out and get together one box at a time ain't going to work. Oh, and check this out. Today, I went to cut a piece of pizza. I did cut the piece of pizza, actually. Cut the piece of pizza, and then I got a cupcake at the birthday party. And I was going to, I think that's what it was. Or no, I cut open a crab apple. Anyway, watch this. My knife, I don't know what, I don't even know how this thing works. Like, I was looking at it, I was like, what in the world? How and why is it not, like, there's nothing in that frame. There's nothing in there. And this lock, like, look, I can lock it, and it does nothing. But you get to right here, and it hits like a, somewhat of a, oh, it unlocked it. It's just pushing the lock in it. Watch. But you can close it and lock it, and it kind of locks. I remember back when I first got this, looking these up and people complaining about them getting loose, and mine has been getting loose for a long time, but I never dreamed that it would stop holding itself. Like, I don't, like, the spring broke in it. I don't even know how this thing works, like, seriously, because whenever you, I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not, but, like, see, you can see light passing through right, there's no liner lock. I don't know, where's the camera? There, see, there's nothing in there. Pocket went in there. There's nothing in there to hold it, though. Like, I don't know, it had to be some sort of, like, I don't know, like, bearing or tab or something that slid over in. I'm going to take it apart. I may as well, and see if I can figure out how to make it work again. But I'd say the spring broke in it or something. I'm very disappointed in my knife doing this, though. It's really, really disappointing. I've had this, oh, there's a pin in it. See, the lock still holds it closed. But you didn't have to have the lock before, so whatever pin was in it, when it would flip open. But I still don't understand how this thing worked. I mean, it was spring loaded, because after you unlocked it and I just hit it like that, it would fly open. Like, it was spring assisted. But whatever that spring had to have broken, because it not supposed to do that. I don't know. It sucks. And I can't lock it open either. See, that's something else that bothers me. If I could lock it open, I'd still be able to use it. It won't lock it open. So it's going to have to be retired, and I'm going to have to break out a new knife. So the Kershaw that I have with the broken tip that's my second favorite knife. I should just order another one of those. I don't know, this thing's been pretty good. I've been using it now for probably 5 years or so, something like that, and I use it a lot. I really do. I use it a lot. I don't know, I couldn't believe it did that. There's definitely something loose inside of it. I don't know, maybe it just came apart. I still don't see how low the profile is and stuff. There's got to be something inside of here, inside of this, that works. Elandil, hey, what's up, man? It's good to see you in here. This has been a great knife, I must say. This has been my favorite knife for about 5-6 years. That Kershaw was my favorite knife. I used it all the time, and I don't know, I can't remember how I broke the tip on it. I broke the tip on it. I broke probably about that much off the tip of it, and it's still perfectly usable. It's still a good knife. It's just that broken tip bothers me, so I don't know. And this one right here, which, I mean, I guess I could use this for a while maybe. I think the reason I don't carry and didn't carry this one is because the pocket clip on it was way too tight, I think. I mean, this is much larger, not blade-wise, but weight and thickness. Oh, yeah. Look at the difference. Yeah, pretty substantial. And, I mean, it's spring-assisted. Razor sharp. I will probably use this live stream, and it's frame lock. Let's see. I guess I could loosen up bend it a little bit, and that might. Yeah, it's not too bad. Doesn't open as easily as I'd like. It's probably just stiff because I haven't used it very much. This is actually got a, instead of having some sort of plastic on the outside, that feels like actually metal. Some sort of anodized, textured, laser cut metal of some kind, but it's so stiff that it hurts my finger to try to flip it out, and then that's all it does. Like, you gotta kind of give it a little bit of wrist to get it to come all the way out. This is one that, I can't remember who sent me this, but this came from Demolition Ranch. This is something he came up with and was making skiff knives. Skiff Adventure cut above. All right, we'll use this time. I did bend that clip out, and it fits on my pocket much better than it did. I didn't figure it'd bend that easy. It kind of bent pretty easy. Your knife used to cut your finger every time because it was so tight. See, I've had knives over the years. I had a buck. I can't remember what the name of it was. The wood handle, not full wood. I go right in there and grab it and show you. It's a bigger one. It's just a standard pocket knife, kind of not exactly like this, but just a. Oh, there it is. But you know, just a pocket knife. His dad's what he was carrying. I don't think this is the knife he carried for very long, and Mom seemed to think that it was. I was like, no. And then she stumbled upon finding he had all kinds of knives put up in a way that he'd messed up over the years carrying them, sharpening them down and stuff. It's going to bother me what the name of that buck is. Here, let me go grab it. I'll put y'all in the MREs, and then we'll go ahead and slice them open. Hang on. Be right back. I forgot about even having this Kershaw. That's kind of about the same size. Well, I don't know, it's my buck. It's pretty close. This thing. See how tiny the opener is? And it's got a Tanto blade. I am not a fan of a Tanto at all. This thing's been sitting, collecting dust for a long time. Wow, is it dusty. And then my buck. And this thing is so sharp. This is a finger cutter. Yeah, it is razor. Look at the dust. I ain't been taking care of that one. But, yeah. I used this one on the river for years. It's a big knife, but it would cut ropes and lines. And once it's open, that thing ain't going to close up on you. So, anyway, yeah, this thing right here, I don't know, man. I don't like the way I got to sharpen it. It's sharp enough, but I don't know. Not a fan of that Kershaw right there. It's never really been in my rotation. It was when I first got it, and it's got a really tight pocket clip on it too. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's still too tight. All right, picking a meal. Man, I hate to retire my buck like that, but there it goes into a coffee cup. What is it? Recently inherited my grandfather's K-bar. Oh, cool. Cool. I've got a German. Wow. I've showed him on a video I done years and years ago. My grandpa brought this back. He brought some other stuff back too, but it got stolen. And then I have his service bayonet that he had. Well, I think he carried it like a knife. I don't know. It's in there. It's kind of weird though. It's like, I think he's got it wrapped up with tape, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm pretty sure there's probably leather under that tape. I don't know. I'd like to restore that knife of his though. All right. Beef strips in savory tomato sauce or the classic chili. The chili, the last time I had chili, I did nope, that was the taco. Huh. I was thinking I did like a chip bag thing, but I did not. Huh. No, I'd never. Me and him went to surplus stores when I was a kid, but as far as like him actually keeping and saving any rations, no, he never had any that. And we spent all kinds of time. I'm sure I've mentioned this 1,000 times, but I grew up in the American Legion and VFW both. Like that was my childhood from the time that I was about 7 or 8 years old, maybe, yeah, probably 7 or 8, until I was 12 or 13. Virtually every day I was in both the American Legion and the VFW, because he would make his rounds, buddy. We would go to the VFW first because it was closer, and then he'd have a couple, and we'd drive up here right behind where I live now, and we'd go to the American Legion. And I've thought back, like, how annoying I must have been to him, like wanting him to teach me how to play ping pong and teach me how to play pool, which he did, and he did a good job, I think. I ended up being pretty decent. I don't know about the ping pong thing because I never play it, but as far as pool, I'm not horrible. I don't know why I've always kind of looked down at the game of pool. It just kind of seems like I don't know. It's certainly not. It's always just in a place that there's a lot of alcohol. It seems, and it just. So I don't play anymore. So the only time I played was with my grandpa when I was younger. Really. What is it now? Still got your old VFW card? Oh, you mean the Legion card? I've thought about going down there and getting one, but like I don't drink, so there would be really no reason for me to do it. I mean, I know a lot of people do the drawings and stuff down there, and it's whatever. But I mean, I've got all his paperwork and stuff. I'm sure I could go down there and get one, but I don't know. It's just not something I've ever desired to do. I really don't have a preference here on what to eat tonight. I'm not exactly hungry. I had 2 pieces of pizza and a cupcake at like, I don't know what time, 2 o'clock or something like that, but it certainly has curbed my appetite immensely. Which one's the heaviest? Is that? They're pretty close size-wise, it feels like. This one I can tell has crackers in it. I thought the chili should have cornbread in it. Is that what they put in it for the dessert, or did they stop putting cornbread in it at some point? Because I think that's a little bit weird that it's got crackers in it. That's definitely crackers, MRE crackers right there. That reminds me, I gotta pick up more of these 2022-ish around this time. I gotta pick up more MREs because they're basically, or maybe they did, do away with the crackers, and that's not okay with me. Like, I want my crackers. A Brit Air Crew. Here, I'll look on my other phone. What was the other one you said? He did a halal? Wait, an OE. OE? What's OE? Let me see here. If I just go here. Huh. They're not. Oh, there they are. Oh, okay. I still don't know what you meant by OE. Kaylin. Now that lamb barley vegetable stew, so 2024. And then I've seen this on eBay. No, I did not. The one I seen did not have wax paper around it, but it was in that kind of shape. I didn't think it was that big. Huh. Anyway, get out of there. Back over here. Shut that off. Hey, Greg's here, Mr. Investory. Ain't that what you used to go by, Investory? Or you still, wait, you still go by that? No, just Gregory. Okay, got it. I don't know, really. They weigh about the same. This one, if I was going to just throw out a guess, I'd say this one's slightly heavier. And I can't tell what that is on the back side of it. Look at that, it's like sliced open. Huh, I wonder how that happened. That is definitely, oh yeah, I feel the air rushing out of there. Huh. I have no idea how that happened. It's like got a weird... There, and there. Those look like scratches, not necessarily bag creases. Huh. I wonder. That is really weird. Maybe it is like a bag crease. That's kind of strange. Get anything? No, it smells fine. Nothing got cut. Oh, yeah, you're right. It's probably a cat. You're right. Yep. Elandil, you are probably correct. Because the cat's been in that box a few times. I didn't even think about that. Pretty good slice they got on it there, though. I didn't even think about it. The raccoons, yeah. Yeah, I'll have to go out and, I guarantee you they're out there. Hang on, I'll go see. They probably are. One baby raccoon and one possum. Old man possum. If you guys want, I can take you to go see them. And then we got to pick a meal. I remember not liking this one that much, but I think I've had chili more recently than I maybe I've only had this once and I didn't like it. I try to get along with my possums, man. Like, I think they're good to keep around. Don't they eat stuff like ticks and stuff like that? Beef strips has got 3 votes. All right, beef strips it is, man. Like I said, I don't really have a preference. I just remember, though, I think maybe I've had this twice. I don't know how many times I've eaten this, but it seems like it wasn't great, though. I don't know. I'm going in with a preconceived notion of thinking that it wasn't great. So, here, we'll go real quick. I'll go show you guys the... Oh, he's gone. And the possum's still there. My possum is very old. It's been coming around for at least 6 or 7 years. I don't know where the little raccoon went, though. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, something scared it. Something scared it. I guess I could throw it out some cookies. Hang on. It'll probably run away, that's the thing. We'll go after him. Yep. Alright. That possum, I'm telling you, I think it's a male. It just looks like a male to me. I'm not sure that it is, but that's what I think. Alright, let's cut this MRE open, and then after I get done, we'll go out there and I'll feed the coons some, because by the time I get done with this, there'll be more than I can deal with out there, because they've already eaten almost all the food that's out there. I'm gonna cut this one open instead of using the tear notch. That knife is sharp. It is very sharp. Heck yeah. I've never heard that before, do they? Huh. Hey, what's up, Jason? What's up, man? I don't know. I've never heard that before. I've probably told this story before, but I was out on the back porch. I don't know if it was last year or year before. It seems like it... I can't remember if I still had skunks last year, because I did have skunks. It might have been the year before. It's probably the year before. Anyways, I heard something that sounded like... It sounded like an animal eating a carrot. Or a human, even, It was like exactly what you think eating a carrot would sound like. And I've got this tree stump over there where I had this great big tree cut down. It cost me a lot of money. Anyway, I got the flashlight out, and because I could tell it was coming from there, and shined the flashlight over there, and there was a skunk eating a snake like a carrot. It was just like holding it, like crunching it. It was crazy. It was, I mean, it was far from still moving at that point, because I heard it when I went out there. It was probably, I don't know, I would say it was probably about that big. It was pretty good size, about that big around. And he'd probably eaten, if I was to guess, maybe an eighth of it or so. He started with the head, so it was interesting to see, I guess. Mozzarella cheese with sliced potatoes thin. Mozzarella cheese, sliced potatoes thin and onions with Worcestershire sauce, gray poupon mustard with horseradish sauce and eggs cooked. Huh. What are you using as your base? The mozzarella cheese? Is this a dip of some kind? Wait, are eggs your base? I'm trying to imagine what that would even look like. And are you using it like a casserole dish and putting a bunch of thinly sliced potatoes down and then mozzarella cheese over it, and then you're putting Worcestershire sauce? I'm trying to even imagine. It's more so a meal, like a quick, thick meal to have. I've never seen or heard of anything. I imagine that the mozzarella cheese would kind of cut some of the sharpness of the Worcestershire. And what else did you? Gray poupon mustard, and what else? And horseradish too. Oh, that sounds interesting, if nothing else. I would have to see that. I can't visualize what you're talking about. Like, I just can't. And eggs too. Like, is it a breakfast thing? But if it was a breakfast thing, the Worcestershire sauce, the horseradish, and the mustard, to me, it doesn't go for breakfast. Maybe more of like a Asian cuisine, maybe. But then the mozzarella cheese really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. All right, what is this on this back side? I can't. What is this? Yep, got those again. I had those in the last meal that I just had on stream. So, yeah, I don't like those things, and I can't believe that there was two in one case. That's kind of weird. Look at that in a minute. Ooh, a chocolate protein drink powder. Too bad it's not a cocoa beverage powder. They want to do, like, just use the cocoa beverage powder and add a little bit of protein to it. This is, I guess if you're trying to work out or something on the base, or, I don't know. Flameless ration heater, which we won't need. Just chocolate pudding. Regular old chocolate pudding. Huh. 6th day. Why is the camera not focusing? Of 2022. Yeah, the horseradish is pretty harsh sounding. Oh, we got blackberry jam. I don't think I've had that in a minute. Weird. Peanut butter to go along with that blackberry jam. Okay. What else we got in here? We got us a, wow, a virtually, well, I would call that somewhat, at least there's still matches in it, but what a useless teeny tiny pack of salt. Chiclets gum with, you got 12 or 14, I can't remember how many's in there. A good bit of peppermint. Like, this is not shaping up to be all that great, guys. And we got to say white wheat snack bread. I just had the multigrain one last time, so my brain should be pretty fresh on that. Did I zoom in or something? Huh. And we got our partially biodegradable MRE spoon. And, I guess last but not least, we've got our beef strips. That's it. Well, yikes. I'm going to go throw this in some hot water. I will be right back, and we'll get this trayed up. I didn't even go down through the menu before we got started. Menu number 7, beef strips in savory tomato-based sauce from the Warnick Company. And it's 2022 variety. Here's our card. So the beef strips in savory tomato sauce is 250 calories. And our chocolate pudding with protein. So that is, wow, okay. So we got chocolate pudding with protein with 220 calories. Well, how much protein's in there? 13 grams of protein, 25 grams of protein in the beef strips, which that makes sense. Look at that ingredients list on the beef strips and savory tomato sauce. Cooked, seasoned beef, and modified food starch. Great, 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 great. Beef, water, seasoning, okay, salt, blah, blah, blah. Sunflower oil, yay. What does that say? Yeast extract, grill flavoring? Grill flavoring. There you go. What is grill flavoring? And exactly where do you manufacture that at? Gee, many Christmas. Some garlic powder in there, some sugar, some spices, anchovies. Why are there anchovies in it? Fish, anchovies, fish. And tamarind? Isn't that like the Mexican or Spanish, whatever, like stuff they make candy out of? This is bizarre. There's some weird stuff. Chili peppers, spices, garlic powder, sugar, xanthan gum, citric acid, blah, 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 garlic, paprika. How many times are they going to list garlic on there? Garlic powder, garlic powder. 3 times, apparently. Or it's in 3 different ingredients. Maybe. Because that's what them parentheses are. Extract of garlic and lemon. I did not set a timer. Set a timer for 2.5 minutes. It's not going to work. Okay. Yep, it didn't work. That's fine. Just pay attention to this. Don't need that. Don't need that. I don't need that. There's nothing in there we need or can use. And these stupid things, I will go get the pack that I already have open when I get the beef strips. Just throw all this stuff back in the bag, I reckon. I don't see like this stuff, like this extra stuff. What am I going to do with this? Let me zoom back out. Sorry about that. It's not leaving a whole lot for us here. No coffee. I'm going to have to make that myself. let me go get, maybe give it one more minute, or part of another minute. This is probably going to be best to shake up in here. This has got 14 grams of protein in it. How much was in the, I can't remember. It seems like it was more than that. 13. So 13 in that, 14 in that, and 25, I think, in the other. Yep, 25. All right, I'm going to go grab the main. I think it's been in here long enough. Probably. And here, make some coffee. We will do a taster's choice. And I've got sugars. Should I use these creamers? Probably not. Try to come up with some. Oh, I got some milk in the fridge. That'll work. And since Dan's not here, let's do this in remembering Dan here, our Australian buddy. If he comes in here, he's got some news to break, and I don't think it's my place to break that news. So, good news for Dan. Good news. Very teeny tiny amount of sugar in these little packs. Nothing. Okay, there's that. Now this, I'm just going to these things, the powder doesn't like to fall down in them until you open them for some reason. Just the way the air is in them. There we go. Get this bottle of water. And then we'll finish this bottle off. See how that looks like it's really full? It's not. That was only maybe 8 ounces of water. Not even. It's going to need more water than that. There's so much powder in these things. These protein drink powders. Maybe if it's like refrigerated, maybe if I added some milk to it, I don't know. It needs some help though. Look at that. Ugh. That is a looking a little rough. Let me give it some more water here. I don't like that there's no gusset or nothing. Set it down on. Can't give it much more water. I won't be able to shake it. Already might be to that point. Yeah, stuff's barely moving inside there. Especially since it's bubbling up, foaming up, whatever. Where's my cup? A cup. Clean. Oh yeah, look at that. That made a mess. On my table. It's like slippery too. Good enough. My hands are sticky now. Yikes. Need a wet paper towel. Give this a quick stir. Ugh. All that powder sitting on top that won't mix in. I'm going to add some more water to this thing and get some hot water in this. Be right back. About overfilled this thing. Pretty much I did. There's the coffee. This. I added cold water to it. I know it's not going to help the stuff that's not turning it into liquid, stay in powder. Oh well, it is what it is. You can set right there. This. I'm sure it didn't need stirred. Throw some milk in this. Good. Better than it was. Alright. Protein drink powder is all it's everywhere. It's on this pudding. Oh, where's my bowl at? Oh, there it is. Alright, you're supposed to eat this right out of the tube. Like a tube pouch. Kind of a mix between the two. A tube in on a pouch. So this is protein pudding. Not the caffeinated stuff. I am not typically a fan of pudding when it's like really thick and bready, kind of. Almost like, I don't know. Let's take a look at this white wheat snack of bread. Oh yeah, I forgot the stupid peppermints. Well, there it is. That's a little extra long. It's got like one extra row than what it should have. It should be cut off about right there. Maybe it's not as thick as it's supposed to be. Kind of seems like that. It smells the same though. It smells like the multigrain. It smells like the white wheat, or it smells like the wheat snack bread. It all smells like dough. The multigrain did have a little bit more earthy scent to it. Yeah, I don't know. It's a wheat snack bread still. You can't change that fact. Get that stuff. I don't want that in the picture. Another sealed spoon. I'll go grab them peppermint rings at least so we can look at them. There they are. They're lifesavers, right? Yeah, they say lifesavers on them. I mean, they got a refreshing smell to them, I guess. Blackberry jam. Give it a little squeeze. Kind of try to get them juices to go back, incorporate back into a jam again. Okay. Oh, yeah. This knife is way sharper than what I'm used to. This one didn't separate like the last one. If I get another one like that, I won't need it. I'll just cut it open. Because they're very odd. This has got some dry peanut butter stuck right up in the very top of it, like a line of it. A lot of protein in this too, probably. Let's see. 7 grams. Why is it so blurry? Okay. Peanut butter and blackberry jam. Is that everything? Except the main? I think so. Let me fillet this. See if I can get it split. Heavy to one side there. Good enough. One piece is way skinnier than the other. And the main. Beef strips, savory tomato sauce. Sorry, tomato-based sauce. And this doesn't have proper tear notch on it. I can't open it with that. This thing is really hot. That's annoying. It does that. Okay. Looking like some Chef Boyardee up in there. Kind of smells like it too. Okay, first impression just looking at this. This needs some crackers. Like, what are you supposed to eat with this? And I even, like, alright, it's cold. You're not going to be able to heat it up. You're going to eat it on the go. Crackers with this makes all the sense, in my opinion. I don't know why this is so much hotter than it usually is. But it is. Let me get rid of this real quick. Let's take a good look at that. Where's the... Okay. That's what they're calling a beef strip. Okay. Kind of looks like a little piece of steak. Is the texture going to be right? Let's find out. Well, fatty maybe, like fatty steak, cheap cut. I'm not real sure. There it is. The grain looks right. I mean, it doesn't look like it's pressed and formed, cubed. It looks like proper grain for beef, which honestly I didn't expect, because I know there's TVP in here. So is that incorporated into the sauce, or is this not natural beef? I don't know. I'm going to try it and see what it tastes like. Down the hatch. Okay. The sauce itself is a little peppery, tangy. I mean, obviously very tomato forward. The meat, it kind of tastes like that might be where the pepper flavor is coming from. Black pepper. Very dry, very chewy. Are they all going to be like that? I'm not big on fatty meat myself, but you know, that looks right. Yeah. I'm not going to complain about that proper meat grain there. It's definitely more of a cheap cut of beef, but they boiled it in this sauce for so long, I assume, that it kind of tenderized it as much as it could be tenderized. Man, that needs crackers bad. Like, seriously. This ain't going to cut it. We'll try it. Give me some steak. Make a little steak sandwich. I don't pick up on much garlic in here either. A little bit of onion. I expected it to be more rich, and it's more, I would say, more sour than rich. Okay. Well, a little bit of bread, a little bit of steak, and we'll see. We'll see if it goes with the bread. I can tell you I'd much prefer a cracker. That doughy, it just kind of gets lost in the mix. Really? I mean, I guess it kind of does mimic a steak sandwich a little bit with virtually marinara sauce on it. I mean, it's not quite marinara, but definitely red sauce. Take one big old bite here. It's probably going to end up all over my beard if I'm not careful. Alright, let's see if I can get this down. Yeah, I can tell you, without even having the crackers, that it would be much better. And why couldn't we have a pack of crackers and a wheat snack bread? Like, really, would that hurt the bank for a pack of crackers? Probably cost them about 3 cents to put it together, that pack of crackers. One of the cheapest items that they could put in here. Alright. Let me break out the Tabasco for a bite. I've been mixing up this super dark stuff over the past week or so. We got about that much in there. Let me see. Maybe not. I don't know. It's like it evaporated. That's weird. Whoa. I put a whole bunch in there too last week. But I kept it laying on its side to kind of soften this up, and that must be, I don't know, I can feel it in there. It's definitely, okay, yeah, it's up to about right there. Almost to the diamond side. Yeah. It's just really dark. Can you guys hear that? Oh. There. Yeah, you can hear it. Just going to use it. Well, you know what? Screw it. Let's try to use a little bit of this. One little bit there. Look how thick. I don't know if y'all hear. This is like a thick, savory sauce. This Tabasco's turned into. It ain't gonna come out there. I can tell you right now. Use this toothpick up here. Hang on. Maybe. I just don't want to come out of there. I know it doesn't look like much, but trust me, this old stuff is no joke. I will clean that off of there too. All right, here we go. Let's see. Oh my Lord. Woo. Wow. Oh. Boy, that hit me. It didn't hit me initially, but wow. That is way hotter. That's probably the hottest Tabasco I've ever had. I need to dump some more over into that bottle so it can absorb that, like, dried, aged Tabasco in there. It's got a good flavor to it. I prefer the main without the Tabasco though, myself. That's just a personal preference though. Tabasco, what was that? I don't know how that happened. Yeah. All right. Well, the only thing that came with this to drink is this. This is it. This monstrosity of a quote-unquote drink is what we got to deal with as far as, well, any beverage whatsoever. It's kind of sad. Not kind of sad, it is sad. All right. Chocolate protein drink powder. Down the hatch, it's like eating a meal. It's still very thick and very viscous. The chocolate flavor is not bad. It's more kind of along the lines of a dark chocolate. It does have like a chemical, vitamin, and protein. Like, I'm tasting all of those flavors after the chocolate. The chocolate's the first thing I taste, and then it kind of follows up with flavors you don't want to taste. Mm-hmm. I don't know who made that at Natick and then tasted it and was like, you know what? That's the one. That's the one right there. That tastes awesome. No, it doesn't. Is it drinkable? Sure. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not. It surely is. But there are much better options that we've had throughout the years. Of course, I don't know why this is like, they're just trying to pack the protein into this meal for some reason. And, I don't know. And now we got this protein pudding. Oh, man. Let me clean my spoon off here. that drink mix all over it. Bother me. Pudding. Pudding. It kind of has, like I said, like that bready, kind of clumpy, not quite mixed up brownie batter type of look. Look, there's like, it's got like chunks in it, but I don't know what that is. What is that? I don't know. This is how I eat pudding, though. I get like a skin of it onto the back of the spoon, and then I look it off the spoon. I cannot take a spoonful of that. I mean, I'm not going to tell you I couldn't do it, and maybe not gag, but I'll probably gag if I put a spoonful of that in my mouth. I can't do the gelatinous textures like that. I just can't, especially like, I don't know, especially pudding for some reason. Okay, here we go. Let's give it a try. That does not taste like chocolate pudding. I don't know what that tastes like. That might be bad or something. It's sour. It doesn't taste like chocolate. What is that? It's sour and tastes like, it certainly has a chemical aftertaste. That is very weird. Very weird. I've had the protein puddings before, and they didn't taste like that. It's almost like that it's off. It went bad or something, if that's even possible. But it does not taste like it should. That or my palate got wrecked after drinking that. Let me chase it down with some coffee. Oh wow, that tasted normal. Hot. Oh, full flavor. Not enough sugar. But the coffee flavor's nice. Very smooth. Alright, let's see if it was me or if it's the pudding. Alright. No, it's not me. It's the pudding. It tastes like, what does that taste like? It doesn't taste like anything I've ever tasted before. And it kind of burns my throat a little bit. I'm not eating that. I don't know what's going on with that, but that can't be normal. It cannot be normal. Or good. How'd that happen? Daggone it. I'll set it over there. Blackberry jam. Jam it up. Alright. Very, very, very dark purple color. Just like it's supposed to be. Alright, we'll give it a try. That actually mixes really well with the white wheat snack bread. Sweet, tangy. Of course, it tastes like blackberry. I've never had it. It's impossible to describe. Fruity, but like sweet, tangy, and not quite like a grape, but more bitter than what a grape would be. I don't know, blackberry's hard to describe. Peanut butter. And peanut butter tastes like peanut butter. It doesn't taste like anything else either. Nothing wrong with that. Every time I take a bite of peanut butter on bread like that, it just reminds me of my childhood. I get like that food memory flashback. Alright, let's do a little bit of both. Peanut butter and blackberry. It's not bad. Grape's still better mixed with peanut butter. I mean, that makes for a decent peanut butter and jelly right there. Not too bad. Not too shabby. But again, preference-wise, I like strawberry jam the best, or jelly, whatever, as far as what comes in the US MREs. But if I'm going to mix it with peanut butter, grape. Grape mixed with peanut butter is the best. I don't know why that is. But I would say about 80 to 90% of Americans would agree with me. I think it's got something to do with that's what we've been conditioned to like. Struggle food, man. I think even the rich eat peanut butter and jelly when they're kids, probably. I don't know. I didn't grow up around a whole bunch of rich kids. That washed that down so nicely. Yeah. What is that? There was liquid there. Okay. Alright, it's just been one of those days and nights, and that was everything. That pudding is off. Everything else was alright. Protein drink powder, not my thing. Not my thing. If you like love protein drink powders, you might love that. That might be your jam. I doubt it, but you know, everybody's palate's different. Yeah, the pudding is really weird. Really weird. There's something, even the texture of it feels a little, I want to say greasy, but it doesn't leave a film in my mouth, but it doesn't feel right, especially as thick as it looks. It almost like a Vaseline type, somewhat like if you just added a little bit to it to change the texture. I'm grabbing some coffee. You'll be right back. What's the little abbreviation of your away from your keyboard? You guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Ernest P. Worrell. Oh man, that guy. Jim Barney. Just gonna have a smoke. Just gonna do nothing crazy because I don't feel like digging anything out right now. I got poison ivy on my arm. Yep. I must have got bit too. I don't know. You see that? Looks like I got two substantial bites on my elbow. And I got a big old patch of... What's up, Jason? Oh, didn't I say what's up, Jason, earlier? Wasn't you in the chat earlier? Serious rolls. I don't know if I ever seen Jim in serious roles. I know he played like a, not a backup, but like a very limited line character in something, I can't remember, in the 90s or 80s. I love that guy growing up, though. Love that guy. Let's do here. I'll look it up on TikTok so we can get some clips.
I know last time you.
Whoa, what was that? Oh, I can't stand it when it does this. Holy crap. An abandoned Dodge Viper? People find some crazy stuff, man. I seen somebody go in a mansion there a couple weeks ago, and it was everything was in there, like designer clothes. I mean, jewelry. Everything was still there. The pool was even still, like, somewhat, but they hadn't been there in, I think, 13 years or 15 years is how long it had been. So like 20, I think it was 2013 is what they said. So it was 13 years, which that's a long time, but it isn't a super long time for, I don't know. But that mansion was, I want to say they said 35,000 square feet. It was ungodly huge. 35,000 square feet for a home is ridiculous. Like, I would like to have a 7,500 square foot home, and I think that's ridiculous. Kind of. I mean, I'd want to move my entire family into a 7,500 square foot home. Really. Alright, Jim Varney. Jim Varney. Oh, no. There we go. Jim Varney.
What did you bring with you here? What is this? Well, first I brought you Beverly Hillbilly Film, which I sing on, by the way. I do my singing premiere doing Hot Rod Lincoln.
Looks like all Ernest clips on here. Remember that? Didn't he have a TV show? Like Ernest? Didn't he have like a... You guys know who Red Green is? Oh yeah, he voiced Slinky Dog. That's right. He didn't get it, but, or did he get it?
Is making you his world famous recipe for butter. To find this bright, delicious.
I'm not seeing any.
Do you remember the actor Jim Varney? Probably best
clips of him.
If you remember. Hey, Varney.
Was there ever an Ernest Goes to Israel? No.
When did he pass away? Holy crap, he passed in 2010? He's been gone 16 years. The commercials where he initially played Ernest, yeah, this is one of them right here. Make yourself at home with Jim Varney. Nope, this ain't a commercial. Johnny Cash show. Anyway, I'm paying attention to this, not you guys, because I was looking for clips. Sorry. My bad. He passed in 2001. Wait a second. Phoenix. Who passed in 2001? Wait, what? I just looked at his headstone. Oh, you're right. It was 2000. My bad. Holy. Wow. That just blew my mind. I didn't think he died that long ago. He died young, I would have to assume. He was born, hang on, he was born in 40... Hang on. 45 maybe. There's a flower in front of it. So 45. He was 55 years old. That sounds about right. Yeah, I don't know. He somewhat has gotten forgotten, or he's somewhat been forgotten, I would have to say. Although, here we are talking about him, so at least there's that. You know, you never truly die until the last person utters your name, they say. You know, we all only hope that generations down the road bring us up. You're lucky to get two generations that still might bring you up in a very rare conversation, or might stop and visit your headstone or whatever. You know, if you can leave any type of mark on this world, it's likely going to be with your family. I mean, I think that's really something that we've lost a lot of touch with. You know, when I was growing up, and I think my generation might be one of the last generations that kind of talked so much about, which I knew my great grandpa, and he passed away very old. I think he was 102. And then my great grandpa passed in his late 90s. And, you know, I've told this story before. My great grandpa, he drank moonshine, or I think he called it whiskey, but it wasn't. And I think really just about up until he died. I didn't know this until, I'd say, probably within the last couple months. But my great grandpa, that I called Pawpaw, we were down at my mom's talking, and I was talking about grandpa drinking. That was my great grandpa. And she said, you know, she was, yeah, and agreeing with everything I was saying that I remembered. And then she's like, Pawpaw, she called Dad. That's, everybody called him Dad. She's like, Dad stopped drinking the day that I was born. And for whatever reason, the day that my mom was born, like, he straightened up and stopped drinking. I mean, he still smoked. He just smoked tobacco that they grew there on the farm. Well, he smoked Lucky Strike and tins covering the porch, but Grandpa smoked that too. They both smoked corncob pipes. Roll your own. They'd roll their own tobacco when they run, and then they'd smoke Lucky Strike whenever they didn't have their own tobacco, or maybe I guess when they just wanted store-bought tobacco. I don't know. Back when they first started doing that, I'm sure store-bought tobacco wasn't easy for them to get back in the day. Anyway, can't even remember where I was going with that. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. How whenever I was little, those stories and traditions and all that, like, I remember when it all kind of stopped. Like, we all stopped going out to the family farm. We all stopped because we would go out there. We would pick the vegetables and stuff. We'd can. It would be a big group get together of, like, there'd be 15 women from all over the family doing it. And my Uncle Red, he was real big on making applesauce. Like, that was one that he would get involved with the, I guess, canning process. I mean, you're canning apple. You're making the applesauce and then jarring it, canning it, whatever. Yeah, that was my childhood. I remember them setting on. They had a 3-season porch that was screened in. Well, it was like where there should be windows. It was just all open about, when I was a kid, waist height, all the way. It was almost the length of the house. I'd say it was probably 50 foot long and maybe 10 foot, 8 foot wide, something like that. They had chairs out there, a heater out there, and along that wall where the screen was, there were Lucky Strike tins piled up all the way to the bottom where the screens were. all the way down the porch. I'll never forget that. I wish I had some of those. I wonder what, I'm sure when they tore the house down, they probably just bulldozed them with the house because nobody ever took them or done anything with them. There was no value in them, so they just sat there, collected dust. Grandpa built them up over the years, and Pawpaw too. But yeah, like my kids aren't going to have stories about their grandparents like this, and they didn't get the values passed down and the family traditions passed down, and that's partly my fault. Like I probably should focus on trying to build something like that up for my children, hopefully grandchildren, to be able to have those types of memories and those types of stories that they can pass down. This all got started on like talking about Jim Varney, and here we are talking about him. But how many people are going to talk about us when we're gone? Not very many, or at least in my thoughts, my brain, probably not very many. And that's my fault for not getting things set up to this point. I could be gone tomorrow. You never know. You never know. Man, there's been some weird stuff happen over the last week, that's for sure. I'm sure you guys heard about that Perez Hilton thing. I saw it. I happened to be on TikTok. And it's weird because I had, I don't know if it's subscribe on TikTok. What is it? It's not subscribe, is it? I don't know. But he's in my list of people. But I'm pretty sure he had lost a page or two since, if you haven't, hell, Greg, what's up? Sadly, it has more to do with how life works. The tobacco was still good. Oh, I know it. Yeah. So especially the stuff that they were growing themselves on the farm, not getting sprayed with pesticides. I mean, I remember vividly hanging tobacco in the barns. I don't know how long it hung before they cut it down and chopped it up and whatever, processed it, whatever they done. I wasn't a part of that process. But as a kid, I did help stake tobacco and hang it. Of course, I didn't have anything to do with it after that. But yeah, tobacco wasn't, I don't think the tobacco is nowhere near as good now. Just like none of the food is as good as it is now. And I saw something the other day that 80% of the seeds are gone. And there's two corporations that control that tiny 20% that's left. And they are, they have bred out the seeds out of watermelons, out of tomatoes, out of cucumbers, everything that we had that, we would just pull the seeds out and plant our own. And man, is that sad to think about. So sad. It's ridiculous. All for greed. I can remember growing up, and I was talking about this earlier today because we're at that park that we were at for my nephew's first birthday. There used to be fruit trees all over the town that I graduated high school in, down there in Galplis. And they were in town. Like, there were fruit trees in town. There'd be apples, peaches. You don't see any of that anymore. You just don't see it hardly at all. That was on purpose. They got rid of that on purpose because of the mess, they said, that the fruits would leave behind. All that was actually a good thing. And then, of course, it's a free food supply. There was free food all over the place, free fruit when it was in season. So, of course, that is a big aspect of why that's no longer a thing. We need to go back to planting fruit trees, though, that's for sure. Everywhere. Cities, doesn't matter. Towns, everywhere. It's a really sad state that we're in right now. Like I said, nothing is the quality that it was. But yeah, I think it was I don't know what day it was. Was it last Saturday? Sunday? Has it been that long? Was it Tuesday, maybe? A seeded watermelon's like $15 or more in the store. See, that's crazy, Tim. That is just... You know what, though? Guess what? I'll pay it, and I will save every seed that I can get out of it. I need to do that. But the thing is, like, those seeds ain't really no good either. I mean, them watermelons have been genetically modified, and they're trash. None of them come out sweet hardly anymore. And maybe we can fix that by growing them year after year and just letting all that bioengineered crap grow out of them. I'm sure time would heal some of those wounds, but probably not all. Probably not all. It's really sad what we got going on, and it's happened rather fast, really, because it wasn't like this. I don't know what 25 years ago. It wasn't like this, and then it's slowly more and more and more every year, more and more, chopping down the fruit trees, breeding the seeds out, selling the fruits with no seeds, and here we are. Wait, what? Oh, I thought you was talking to me. I'm clean. Yes, bees are very important. You are correct. You are correct. All insects are very important for humans to exist. Like if the ecosystem around us dies, we're going to die. Like we will not last long once everything else it's so vividly visual to me because I pay attention. I pay attention to how many bees I see. Grasshoppers have been gone for, like, I will see one every once in a while now. Like, it's very rare. When I say gone, though, like, they're virtually gone. Like, they used to be everywhere. When I was growing up as a kid, there were grasshoppers and crickets all over the place. Not anymore. Well, maybe it's just where I live. I don't know. Where I live is very weird. You guys can fight me on this. Something is weird about this particular place, this spot that I live in. I don't know if it's got to do with all the chemical plants around and all that chemical plants, steel mills, power plants, just everything and now they're building way just ridiculous crap. I have not driven on the West Virginia side past that data center since it's probably been like 3 months ago. I decided I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to look at it. Nothing. I will drive the Ohio side down to the other bridge and drive back up into Point Pleasant if I have to. I don't want to drive by it. It makes me sick to my stomach. It gives me anxiety. It sucks. It really sucks. And we didn't have no say-so in that. The residents around here had zero say-so in that. They can say what they want. We've had town meetings where hundreds of us are showing up. And for a small area like this, hundreds of us to show up, that's saying something. That is saying something. The community does not want this. We did not want this at all. Oh, so I seen a teeny tiny praying mantis that was about like that big. Amber actually pointed him out to me there the other day, and I picked him up and put him up on my bush because he was going to get hurt where he was at. And I put him up there, and he was fighting me. And then I seen another one on my vehicle tire, and I picked him up and brought him over to my bush as well. I saw a huge, probably about that big, butterfly today. Wings about the size of my hands. It was yellow, black, a little bit of like reddish brown. Really pretty butterfly. and it was super large. I guess a monarch butterfly. Is that what the great big ones are? It was really down at that park. But you know, lightning bugs have all but disappeared. Makes me sick. I've never really known the purpose that much of lightning bugs, other than maybe a food source for something else. But they're super cool. I mean, what else lights up? What else lights up like nothing? Nothing on land. There are some bioluminescence in the ocean, obviously. But as far as land, anything goes, that's it. Those things are freaking awesome. Lightning bugs are really cool. Really cool, man. And they've always been so abundant. There's always been so many lightning bugs during the season that they're supposed to be out. And I wrote it down on the calendar this year. The first lightning bug that I seen. And I've noticed that like there was quite a few out there for maybe a week or two, and then they've dropped off, and now there's virtually nothing out there. Virtually nothing. Not completely nothing, but virtually nothing. I mean, that one bugs me. The bees, obviously, that's another huge problem. My neighbor down here, he has bees and makes honey, or harvests their honey, whatever. The grasshoppers, that one bugs the crap out of me as well. But it's all insects, really. I mean, it pretty much, except for ticks. Ticks are everywhere, and they're thick, and they're abundant. Why is that? Why is that? Hey, what's up, Dan? Dan says, what's up to everybody? He says, hello. Had a pretty weird meal tonight. The beef strips is kind of the way I remembered it. The texture of the meat was pretty good, but the pudding, something's wrong with that pudding. After this, I'm going to go watch some other people's reviews of a 2022 beef strips and see what they say about the pudding, because I'll know if that compares to what my palate to. I'm telling you, I think it's bad. I think it's possibly bad, or if that's even possible with all the preservatives and crap that are in that, and of course the sugar. It can't just be the protein that is making it taste like that. It can't be. I can't imagine that being the case. Wait, what now? Oh, the Georgia Guidestones. Yeah, well, it's that. Well, it's not just that. I mean, Bill Gates has came right out and said it, and of course he's working towards it. I have seen where some states are outlawing his. It's got a weird name. What did they call it? I know they didn't call it bio chicken, but they might have. But if you guys haven't seen, no, it was something cell chicken. I don't know. I think there's been like 15 states outlaw it so far. West Virginia and Ohio need to do it because this is where I eat most of the time. If you have not seen, or if you don't know about Bill Gates's whole chicken endeavor, I highly recommend that you look it up and see what this goofball is doing. Because how is this guy still walking around breathing air? He's got to be evil. I mean, he is. He certainly is. I don't have any qualms about saying that. I think Bill Gates has lost touch of everything. I don't even know what kind of agendas and people and maybe even deities that he's trying to serve, because the caliber of things that he's doing is insane. Yeah. So real quick, kind of summary of what that stuff is. Just, again, this is a very rudimentary breakdown, but they take cancerous cells from chickens and they reproduce them as far as cloning the cells, and the cells replicate 10 times faster because they're cancerous, and you end up like growing this putty looking pink substance that they're calling chicken, and that they can form, like, of course the DNA is, I guess you could consider that to be chicken. It was never alive. It was never an animal. It was only a lab experiment. And like I said, they grow it. They grow it. Or it grows itself. Whatever. However you want to look at that. And it's all based around cancerous chicken cells that turn into this goop. Oh, no. Where you at, Dan? Well, maybe I shouldn't ask that. Oh, I told everybody you might have news, but I wasn't going to be the one to break it. I feel like that's totally up to you. So, I didn't want to, and I wouldn't. Oh, yeah, Africa. That's right. I'm not even going to... Malawi? Kind of, it sounds Hawaiian. Well, okay, if it's not, the things that I've seen on it, they all said that they were literally using the cancer cells because they replicate 10 times faster. That specifically, that's what he's doing. Now, that might not be how it's all done, but that's what Gates is doing. Oh, Mozambique. There's some good gemstones there. You're right in gemstone territory. Probably diamond territory, too. If I was to guess. But yeah, everything that I've seen and read up on it, as far as what the way Bill Gates is doing it, he is using cancerous chicken cells. That's specifically for the speed of replication. Oh, they're a little further south. You got to wonder how many diamonds that they're still left out there that they can mine. Layman, they used the wrong wording. Are you saying? All right, Greg. Hold on. Are you saying that? I'm going to say it like this. I don't care what cells they're using. It shouldn't be food. It shouldn't be something that a human or anything should consume, for that matter. When you want to get it, like, I would much rather them boom the population of crickets and grasshoppers and start cooking that for a protein source versus trying to create this stuff that is never alive. Yeah, no, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea, dude. It doesn't. I don't even care about the purpose that it serves. You're messing with things that, if you want to do that experiment in a lab, more power to you. But when you break that out and start selling it to people and not telling them, this is a fact. They can sell you that crap in California right now and not tell you that that's what they're selling you. In a restaurant, in grocery stores, and everything. I mean, I'll listen to you, but I've looked into this pretty healthily. I've looked into it quite a bit, and I just don't see there, as far as ethically. Yeah, of course it is. Of course, it's a huge dick move to not tell people that you're feeding them. What do we again? I did hear that they got this new name for it. I can't remember what it was called. It was something cell chicken though, like CELL. I don't know. I can't remember what it was. I seen it recently though. That's kind of what the term that they went with as of recently. That they're going to start calling it. It sounds like. But 15 states have outlawed it already in America. Every state needs to follow suit, in my personal opinion. And if I ever encounter it, it will tick me off, like, immediately. I don't think that's what the term they used, but it might have been. It was something cell chicken, but I don't think it was cultured. But because I mean that's obviously the process that they're using. One of the processes, part of the process. I agree. I think that guy is. He's lost the plot. I don't know. Maybe he was normal 40 years ago. Maybe not. I don't know. Money does really weird things to people, I guess. But you also have to have that really weird stuff in you for money to do that to you. Like you have to. Just getting bored with being able to buy everything doesn't constitute you doing the type of things that we see him doing specifically. And there's other people like him doing it too. Don't get me wrong. I don't know. Using the biological process of cancer cells growth to grow good meat is probably coming from a benevolent place, but really the world was not meant to support so many people. Yes, I agree. Yeah. And when you start thinking about, and I think I've brought this up before, but you start thinking about not just McDonald's, but let's just all fast food restaurants that serve hamburger and beef in general, steaks, steak fries, I don't know, Philly cheesesteaks. Yeah, you go down the line, anything that has beef in it, and you think about how much of that is being gone through daily, not just in America, but the world. That is my brain can't fathom how many animals that we are going through. It's an ungodly amount. And we've had this population boom within my lifetime where the world's population has more than doubled. It's a problem. It's certainly a problem. So it sounds to me like you're kind of coming from don't let me put words in your mouth, but it kind of seems like you're seeing the big picture of they're trying to reduce the world's population well, they're doing it in America anyways. I mean, you want to hear the cold hard facts about it. Our food is contaminated to the point where it's killing us. Almost all of it. Unless you can afford to buy very expensive food or grow it yourself, and even then, the seeds are contaminated, like I said. So, it's still better than buying the crap at the store. But 90 to 95% of people, even people with money, are buying this crap that we shouldn't be eating. Yeah, that Phoenix, that list is much longer than that, but yes, even within that amount of time. Yeah, so the people that are actually pulling strings, we don't know their names. That's the cold, hard reality. We don't know these people. We'll never likely know these people. And the people that we think have, and they are ridiculously rich, like the Rockefellers and that type of old money, everybody thinks that they're running the world, and that they're not. They might be the face of who they're allowing to think that is they're not the ones running the world. Is there some grand cabal that's running the entire world? I don't know. I don't think there is, but there could be. Like, there could be some sort of, no, there is manipulations going on beyond what we know, or what we could even investigate with the best investigators and the best tools and all the information. We're still not going to be able to find it out. Greg, I would disagree. I think Greg, me and Greg have had some conversations, and we agree on quite a bit, actually. But see, that's also another thing in today's world. And I really got to thinking about this the other day. I think it was maybe yesterday or the day before, but I've thought about it before. We used to be able to disagree, sit down and have a conversation about it without calling each other names, without acting like the other person was an idiot because they believed, or they were maybe even misinformed on something, and maybe I'm misinformed on something, and you've got to be open-minded enough to know that you don't know everything. Like, you don't, and maybe you don't even understand it. Maybe you know something, but you don't understand it fully, and I'm certainly in that boat. There's quite a few things that I know that I don't fully understand. To be able to sit down and have a conversation with somebody who might have more information than you on certain topics, and you might have more information on certain topics, and you can both take something away. Maybe you're not going to change each other's minds at all, but you walk away from that conversation being more informed on the topic than you were when you sat down. That doesn't happen very often anymore. And okay, so this makes me think of, so I watched, Julian Dory, with that medical Emmy and Baron Coleman sat down yesterday talking about the Charlie Kirk case. And they had an adult conversation throughout. I don't feel like they really approached the topics that I think they should have. I think some things were left out that should have been said and addressed, that I know that doctor walked away not getting that information that he should have gotten. I do think that he probably walked away from that conversation having a completely different point of view than he had when he sat down. I don't know why that's not a more common occurrence, because then in this almost like the same hour or whatever, I watch, I could not bring myself to watch Andrew Wilson on Joe Rogan. I don't know if you guys even know who that is. Doesn't really matter. The guy that was kind of, he was in, he started off, well, he didn't start off on, but the reason I knew who he was is because I seen him on that Whatever podcast back when kind of Andrew Tate and all those guys were kind of, the manosphere thing was happening a couple years ago, and he kind of came into that orbit. And since then, he has been popping in and out of my For You page, and I'll see something from him here and there. He's not a guy that I disagree with a ton or I agree with a ton. He just, I don't take a whole lot from hardly anything he says. I think he talks around in circles a lot. I think he laser focuses on a definition for something that he'll spend 30 to 40 minutes on, and it's like a lot of unnecessary technicalities that he tries to waste time with. I think that's his main thing with that, is the more I waste time with this, the less I have to actually deal with now some of the people that he goes up against debating are idiots. I don't have any qualms about saying that. Some of these people are brainwashed. That's the best word I can use. Brainwashed. They are indoctrinated to believe some of the most self-destructive and silly belief systems. I don't know how we got to this point in America, other than it was on purpose. I don't think it started off that way, but I think the people that took control of it saw an opportunity and they exploited it, which happens all the time. That happens all the time. Reversing something like that after it has happened is not very easy to do, because people believe what they believe, and most people are hard-headed, not open-minded enough to understand that they don't know it all. They don't, and maybe sometimes what they think that they know is incorrect. It's not. Most of the time, almost always, life is not certain. I don't mean living, but I mean everything. Everything. It's talking in certainties is something I don't try to do very much of. I did just mention that some of the guys that he goes up with are idiots, and that's a certainty, and they are, in my opinion, because they are unwilling to take in new information that should change their point of view, because this new information's been given to you that is provable, that you should take into account, but they don't. Usually it's all about, they have an agenda. Most people that are in this online YouTube and TikTok and X, they have an agenda that they've been using now, most of them, or they could be brand new to it, but they figure it out real quick. But they figure out what their little niches are, and they make money from it. Okay, this is a very toxic thing that social media, in general, helps push along. Bad ideas, bad decorum. People that negativity creates more clicks, or generates more clicks on social media than a positive conversation will. 10 to 1 at least. Maybe it's 100 to 1. Sometimes, in some instances, it's 100 to 1, depending on what it is that you're talking about, or the topic, or what kind of following that you have. Some of these people that are in these followings, they are just diehard. I'll believe anything that person says because they said it. And it's extremely toxic, because it creates a whole bunch of very closed-minded people that even they're being taught to think wrong. They're being taught the wrong information to begin with, but they believe it as a fact. And then they refuse to do any information outside. They refuse to do any digging or any research of their own, which I think this world that we're living in, research-wise, I'll approach this topic again in a second, but they refuse to do anything outside of just listen to that person. That person is their gospel, and that if they said it, then it's true. They done their homework. They know what they're talking about. So if you think that way, you need to reassess your thought process. And as far as doing your own research, I'm going to tell you right now, it's becoming increasingly, and this is not going to get better. It's going to become increasingly hard to believe what you're reading. I'm sure you guys have heard about recently the AI program that a judge allowed to cut the spines off of all these vintage books and destroy them afterwards. Have you guys heard about that? Because if you guys haven't heard about that, I'll tell you right now. So that I can't remember what the name of the program is, but they're scanning all these books, which can be done without destroying the books. It's been done for a long time, but it certainly, and that's what should be being done. And how they got to this point where the judge said that they could destroy these books afterwards because they were creating new content. No, they're not. They're literally copying it. But the thing is, like, are we going to trust AI to not manipulate these vintage books and these? I'm not. You know what the first thing AI does almost every time I see it? It lies. AI lies all the time. It's based off the humans. Humans lie. And AI is built in the image of that, of humans. But I've seen AI lie over and over and over. Usually it's the first thing it does. So Phoenix, you've been trying. Okay, so I just saw. I'd seen this guy online, but I never really paid that much attention to him. What was his name? He just passed away the same day that Perez Hilton crap happened. It was August 3rd, I think. So I would have been a week ago, or maybe it was the 2nd. Joe Fells. That was it. Joe Fells. So what he was doing was buying up old books, old Bibles, the missing books of the Bible, all this stuff, and scanning them himself. But he was obviously keeping them. The guy didn't have money, and he was going to, like, 2 or 3 days before that, before his website of all these books was to come up, he passed away. And I don't know how he passed away. I know, like, a month or two before, he was making videos, or he was on video. Maybe he didn't make that video, but he was on video saying that he would never harm himself, because I mean he's gone down that road of unknown information. And there's a bunch of stuff that they supposedly discovered over in somewhere in Latin America. I can't remember where he was at, but the stuff that I've seen, it's not just him. There's like multiple people that I've seen go over there with like what looked to be somewhat alien based carvings and these weird artifacts and really interesting stuff, if it's not fake. And I don't think it's fake. I've watched him go to the dig sites and stuff, which I'm a little sus about, but I don't know. I'm going to say this. I don't know. As far as that goes, it would be a very elaborate and expensive ruse to try to pull off, especially handing over these artifacts to people and letting them examine them and do everything that they've been doing to them. So, I don't know. It's very interesting. But yeah, that Joe Fells guy was doing the exact same thing, trying to preserve some history. And really, anything that you get your hands on that was written after 1900 is not really much count anyway. That I have learned the hard way over time. I don't know. I don't know why that judge. Well, he's part of the agenda, I guess, is allowing him to destroy those books. And these are authors that are long, a lot of them long gone. They're having their content stolen, their books stolen. Of course, they're not getting money from them. Maybe they have an estate or family members that's benefiting from whatever. But this AI is getting to scan these, upload them for free, or something. Maybe you got to pay for them. I'm not sure. Maybe that's how they got away with it. It's free. But again, manipulation is where I come into. That's the first thing that pops into my mind. Is if they're not right now, they will be. They will be. You can mark my words. AI cannot be trusted. Not at all. And I don't know why we're handing it so much trust anyway. It's like, did you guys not watch all these movies back in the day that was like, those movies are imitating life. It's playing out. If we end up in some sort of weird, I don't know if we'll be alive to see it, but Skynet could happen. Why not? Why not? We are super fast headed down that road of making these crazy robots that are going to be completely AI controlled. And then what? Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Phoenix. Yes, I heard about CERN shut down a few weeks ago. And, of course, right after that, the cornucopia came back on the Fruit of the Loom logo. Right? Like, that is bananas. I want to go pull some of my vintage Fruit of the Loom stuff because I got some in my closet in there. I might do that after this and see if the cornucopia is back on it, because I went and checked that stuff before and it was gone. But I know that stuff was there when I was a kid. I know it was there. I know it was there. That's the only reason I know what a cornucopia is anyways, because why would I know what it is anyway? Not because of Thanksgiving either. Like that's a one-time-a-year thing, and it's not something that American families really have on their table or anything. You might see it in a decoration here and there, but Fruit of the Loom was everywhere. And that cornucopia was everywhere with the logo. Like, it's so crazy to me that it was just, they claimed that they never had it in their logo. That right there is an atrocity to me. Oh, that since you brought that up, me and my little sister were at my mom's a couple weeks ago. Might have been last Saturday. Was I down there last Saturday for some reason? That might have been why I didn't stream last week. Anyway, Mom was out on the front porch, and me and my little sister were talking a little bit about the Mandela effects and stuff. And I brought up specifically, first of all, the cornucopia. And I said, Mom, you remember the Fruit of the Loom logo having a cornucopia on it, right? And she's like, well, yeah. And I said, what if I tell you that Fruit of the Loom says that they never had a cornucopia on their logo, ever, and that's what they claim? And Mom was like, bull. And I was like, I'm telling you. And then I went on to the biggest Mandela effect for me myself was the Sinbad movie. Shazam. Shazam. One was Shaq, one was anyways, I went on to tell her why it was such a vivid memory for me, because the Sinbad movie came out first, and I saw it. I saw that movie, and then within about a year, I think, within a year, maybe it was a little over, maybe it was a little under, the Shaq movie came out. And I remember seeing the poster for the Shaq movie thinking, how weird is it that they made a movie? Like, the movie posters looked very similar, and the genie, and like, it was all very similar. I was like, man, that's weird that they're making a movie so similar to that Sinbad movie. And that was always in my head of me thinking that was weird. But apparently the Sinbad movie never happened. Yes, it did. I remember watching it as a kid. I very vividly remember watching that movie. Oh, Dan, you leaving? Oh, you gotta check out of the hotel. Oh no. What's it? I don't know, Greg, if you remembered that movie or not. I because of where you live, I don't know if that was a thing over there for the Sinbad movie and the Shaq movie. Maybe it was, but I'm telling you, man, like, my young self remembers it very vividly. And yeah, like, if you have that memory, and then they just tell you, no, that never happened. And then, of course, Sinbad got with what was that college? That comedy, it was on Comedy Central or something like that, that college something or other. And they did like this spoof of everything that we remember from the movie, and they filmed it about, what was it, about 5 to 7 years ago, something like that. And they're, but it was similar. I mean, Sinbad was way too old in what they filmed, because Sinbad was young. I mean, he was probably, I'm going to say early 30s, late 20s, early 30s. I don't know how old Sinbad would have been in let me guess when that movie would have been out. That would have been sometime between me being around, I'm going to say 7 to 11 years old. So 1993 back to 1989, 88, 89, somewhere along in there. Somewhere in that range right there is when that movie happened. I don't know exactly when. I don't know if we ever owned it or not. I have, and I still have a crap ton of VHS tapes, but I don't have any of my childhood VHS tapes that I know of. But all the ones that I bought for my kids, I kept all the boxes, and then the DVDs when I started doing that, I kept all the boxes and put them in books. But yeah, I'll bet you I've got to have at least a couple hundred VHS tapes somewhere. Probably, I think they're out in my shed. They might be some of them in Ethan's closet. Lots of Disney movies, Scooby Doo, stuff like that. I don't think I would have had the Sinbad movie for my kids, and I don't think I had anything like that I got that my mom kept from my childhood, because it would have been my mom that would have had it. I don't know that we ever owned it, but I know that I went and seen it. I remember going to the movie theater and seeing it, and that's the biggest one to me. The second biggest one I would say is the Fruit of the Loom, because like that, there's no explanation. That happened. That happened. Oh, it's poison ivy's. Ooh, I just want to. Yeah. It's pretty bad. Feels really good to itch it for a second, though. It just makes it worse, is the problem. Oh, Dan was still here. I should have had a piece of chocolate while he was still here. I've been munching on it. Been munching on the regular, standard dark chocolate bars. And the honey, too. The honey's really good. Alright, it's getting late. Holy crap, is it late. Alright, I'm going to get cleaned up. Thank you guys for hanging out. I do have a big week coming up. I guess I can go ahead and say this now. Or should I? Because I haven't signed the papers yet. I don't know. I might just wait and live stream with you guys. I might just literally, because I'll have Wi-Fi there. And, what is it? Finistil? Finistil? Finistil. Oh, yeah. I was going to knock on wood anyway. Yeah, I think I'll probably just live stream you guys. It'll be... So... What is... Let's see. Today's the 9th. Holy cow. It'll be 8 days from today. Well, today, now it's Sunday. So it'll be 8 days from today. But I don't take the 9th. Let's see. It'll be 8 days, 18th. Be the 19th, which would be a Wednesday. I might be able to go live. It's a huge thing in my life that I'm doing. Like it's huge. It's gonna change everything for my. It's gonna change everything. It's gonna be. It's big. It's big. So. Yeah. On Wednesday, I might do a Wednesday stream. And if I'm going to do that, my son's wanting to borrow my vehicle next Wednesday. Not this Wednesday coming, but the next Wednesday. To go get a bridesmaid's dress his girlfriend or something. Which is whatever. But I'll need to have a vehicle to get over there. I don't know, man. This is going to be... It's a great big huge deal for me. It would be for anybody, I feel like. Well, maybe not anybody. But anybody anybody in a normal type of life, this would be a huge, huge thing to be happening. So, yeah, I will wait, and I will just show you. I'll just show you guys. I think that'll be the way to go. I think just showing you a little over a week. A little over a week. Like I said, I got to sign on Monday. Tuesday, I have a doctor's appointment. I'll be gone most of the day. And then Wednesday, that's the day my son wants to borrow the vehicle, but that's the day that I'll be home, and I should be able to live stream. I'll probably do it like afternoon, evening time, something like that if I'm going to do it. Maybe I should just not do that. Maybe I should just keep that part of my life completely separate from everything. No videoing, no content, no nothing like that. I've thought about that. I don't know. I don't really see a downside to taking you guys on the journey with me that I'm getting ready to go on. And there might be some really good advice that I can gather, or things of that nature from people that are out there in my bubble, sphere, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, I don't know, I'll think about it, but probably, if not, I'll at least tell you about it. I might not, we'll see how I feel like that's going to play out. I might talk to a couple people about the ups and downs of what that could entail, and what it could cause or not cause. Yeah, I'll think about it. But I'll at least tell you guys what's up. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate everybody who's been here. Yeah, dude, we'll get on a call. I don't think I got anything going on tomorrow. I don't think I got anything going on tomorrow, so maybe tomorrow? Well, I got a lot that I can tell you about too. So that I've done a lot already. This is just this is much more of a physical thing than it is a not so physical thing. So this is like real day to day, going to involve a lot of day to day action. But it's going to be well worth it. You'll see. You'll see. Thank you guys for hanging out. Seriously, thank you guys for hanging out. And sorry the meal wasn't better. It is what it was. Definitely, they fumbled this one. I can see a few ways they could have improved it. Number one, why'd they put the lifesavers in it? Could have had crackers in it instead of that, and that pudding is atrocious. The chocolate protein, it is what it is. I don't like it, but it's not horrible. It's drinkable. I will finish that. But yeah, we'll remember this one. All right, man. Well, thank you guys for hanging out, and I'll see you guys. If I don't see you next Saturday, I'll see you Wednesday probably. But I'll tell you guys. I'll leave you guys a. Wait, what? You're not coming back, Phoenix? What happened? I didn't even see you say anything up there. Wait, you're more than welcome to come back. I don't know what. Well, that's kind of. I don't know. I've been talking to Greg for years. I mean, so I don't know. That's kind of weird. Kind of weird. I can't apologize because I didn't do anything. So, I mean, I seen you guys kind of go back and look. Nothing crazy though that I seen. I mean, I did kind of see you guys start calling each other names a little bit. It's like, but I don't think any chat should ever get that serious. But again, I can't control what other people say. I mean, but as far as like, yeah, I mean, me and Greg's had pretty good conversations over the years. So we, like I said, we don't agree on everything. That's for sure. But at the same time, we can have an adult conversation about it and disagree at the end of the day, or learn something from each other. That's kind of why I went on that. I think that's what's got me started on that anyway. But I was also talking about other people doing the same thing. Yeah, you got to be able to conversate. Yeah, I can watch it back. It wasn't that far back, so I can just check the end. All right, I am going to get off here and clean up my mess, though. Thank you guys for hanging out. That's kind of weird to have some drama in the chat because I don't feel like anybody in here should have drama in the chat, really. But I will go back and check it out. Just may as well. All right, you guys, I'll see you on the next one. Like I said, if it's not Saturday, I will put a post up if anybody cares. And Wednesday, again, big something to me. And it could, maybe I could make content out of it. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to go that route, though. I've thought about that, and I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense for me to do that. There's other people out there already doing it. Of course, everyone's experience is going to be different. I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. I don't know. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of added work to make content about something like what I'm talking about, which you'll know soon. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Oh. Later.